We're going to create a new database, and I'm going to make a table using Access. Then I'm going to show you how to make the table using SQL. We call that implementing. So we're going to implement a table using SQL. So far you've only used SQL for queries, but you can actually make tables with it too. And as usual, Access tries to put an auto number primary key field in for us. We don't want that, so I'll go to the design view, and it wants a name for this table. Call it users, and this one is using Access, so we'll call it users access and OK. I want to delete this, so you can take the primary key off and then right click, delete. Now I'm ready to add my fields, just as you've done before in the countries database. So here's what I've added: first name, last name, address, username, password, date joined. They're all text fields except the last one, which is a date time field. I'm going to do something else here. If we go back to first name, it's a text field. Now look down here and you'll see how long this field is. The field size is 255. That's 255 characters from your keyboard. That could be text, numbers, spaces. You're allowed to do 255. Now we can change that here, and you'll need to be able to do this for your assessment too, because this is a constraint. You can limit the number of characters that can be entered. So I'll make this one 10 and then go to the last name, and I'll make this one 15. Then the address, I'll make this one 50, and the username and password, we'll make them both 10. And that's it. Now I'm going to close this table and save it. Now I'm going to create this table again, but this time using SQL. So we're going to do exactly the same thing, but using SQL this time. I'll give it a different name. This one's called users access. I'll call the next one just users. So to do that we have to go to create, as if you're going to do a query, and then query design, and then close this window here. Then go up to the SQL view at the top left, and this is what you need to type. So this time create table, and the table is going to be called users, and then first name, and you're telling it it's a text field with 10 characters, and then a comma. Don't forget to open this bracket here, and to close the bracket down here before the semicolon. Remember, the semicolon is always at the end. You can see the last name is also a text field with 15 characters, that's the field length. There's the address, username, password, and this one's a date time field. So it's just the same, but this is what the SQL looks like for a table similar to this. Let's run it, and then we'll close this one, and we'll save this one and call it users SQL, and then OK. Now what this does is it creates our table, but it also creates a query, and you have to be careful about opening that query again, because it will try to create the table again. So once you've created this query, try to leave it unless there's a problem. But we do want to see what's inside this table, so open it up and then go to the design view, and there it is, exactly the same as the one we did here using Access. So we have first name as a text field. They're all text fields except the last one, which is a date time field. the field length is 10, last name, the field length is 15, address 50, etc. So that's how you create or implement a table using SQL. So you can imagine if you have a few tables, you'll have a few of these queries, and that's what your coursework is going to look like.